In this video, we're going to talk about the 10 EMA bot. This is the RLT real life trading house strategy for day trading that we've been following for the last probably year and a half, 2 years now. And it is now automated and we have a new version that's out. And I'm going to go through all the details now. We're going to jump into it. So the first thing we're going to do is run a back test. I'm just randomly picking the last 8 to 10 weeks. So today is through June through now, and we're going to click start. We're going to let that run real quick. You guys can watch this graph, the realized and unrealized gains kind of grow and all the ups and downs, of course, through that. We're going to look at this back test report real quick. You'll notice we have almost 31K profit off of a $100,000 account. We're going to look at our drawdown, which of course is close to that 6%, but does not exceed that. Not only does it not exceed that, but we have now 3x'd our goal for that 10%, the funded account program. And so that's pretty exciting when we can literally make about almost 5.5, 6 times our drawdown over here is our profits. And we're going to talk about how this works exactly in just a sec. But first, we're going to pop over here into our settings, or I should say our inputs. And so we have our current time frame here, which is the date. I'm sorry, the resolution you want the chart to run on, 3 minute, 5 minute, 2 hour, whatever that looks like. Your period, so the period is like the 10 EMA, whatever you have set here. If it's a 10 period, an 8, 7 EMA, 6 EMA, whatever that is, defaults to 10. Next is our asset class. So this is used mathematically to calculate, are we using crypto, is this indexes, is this stocks? And we're able to use that to determine gold, forex, and oil and silver. We're able to use that to determine what our quantity should be when we're calculating volume or lot size. The next thing is our profit taker, of course, always defaults to 1.2. Our stop loss padding, which we'll talk about in a second, is always defaults to 0.002. Now, this bot is not only a day trading bot, but this can be run on a bigger time frame, like a 1 hour or even a daily or a weekly chart, and it becomes more of a swing trading bot. So I refer to this and consider this bot as like a hybrid bot. So you can do day trades, you can do swing trades. It all depends on what time frame you run it on, and it can support, of course, multiple trades per day. So we set this by default as 2 max trades per day. Of course, whatever you set that to, it has to have enough of those setups. If you set it to 20, it's not going to automatically trade 20 times a day. It's going to trade up to a max of 20. Of course, if it only has 4 setups for the day, 4 is all you got, even if you have it set to 20. So again, keep in mind that is your max, your maximum trades per day. Next is next is cancel after the number of candles. So in this case, 5 candles. If we do not have our order is not filled in 5 candles, we will auto exit that and close it out. And then of course, we do have our most common day trading settings for the Monday through Friday. And of course, we have added Saturdays and Sundays, which allow you to trade this on what? On crypto, things that you wouldn't normally trade on the weekends, well, like stocks or indexes. You can also apply this to crypto. And then scrolling down a little bit more, our defaults are a $100,000 account. So we're risking 1% or $1,000. Of course, we do have our max lot size of 10. That is the most that we can trade. And then finally, we do have a couple more settings here we're going to touch on. And that is, if you want to use this as a day trading bot, you will want to set this to auto close the trade at the end of the day, and you tell it the time. In this case, this is GMT time. This is the Greenwich Mean Time. I believe Central Standard Time is GMT +6. Eastern Standard Time is GMT +5. So here, 22:45 is basically 15 minutes for the market close. And so I'm saying true, which means auto close it. So for example, if I'm in a trade and I haven't yet hit my profit target, I haven't yet hit my stop loss, and I'm triggered into the trade and it's just going sideways all day, do I want to trade? Do I want to close this trade? Or do I want to leave it open and hold it to the next day? Of course, if you want to use this for a swing trading and do this on an hourly chart, then of course you would just turn that off. And then finally, we do have the default behavior, just like in Momo. We have a couple configuration settings that you can use to customize the behavior of exactly how the trailing stop should work. So you need it to be up a certain amount. We want to keep once you've reached a certain percent of your goal, then of course the trailing stop and how far away it's going to step up each time. And so 4% is our distance, how far away we're going to keep it. And then our step is we're going to keep it every time we go from 4.5% to 4.5%, we're going to close that 0.5% gap. And that's how that works with the trailing stop. And then of course, we do have the ability to take these trade signals, the buy and sell signals, and this is the newest updated. Today is August 17th. So this is the newest Traders Post integration. So not only does it send buy and sell signals to Traders Post, but it also sends the newest version now. We have the entry price, your stop loss, and your take profit, which is all calculated here inside of MetaTrader 5. And then you connect that to Traders Post, which you can then attach your TD Ameritrade, whether it's a IRA, a simple IRA, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, SEP, SEP IRA, like all the IRAs, all the things. Or if you also have a cash or margin account, you can connect those as well. So let's pop over here to the settings tab and let's go ahead and watch this actually place our real simulated visual mode trade, so we can watch how it works, how it operates, and I can explain this strategy to you. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to demonstrate this. This is Tesla. I did switch it over to a 6-minute chart just for a quick example here. And the way the RLT 10 EMA strategy works, and we'll see if we can get a signal here in a second. I will pause the chart and show you. We are currently looking at this on visual mode. So visual mode allows us to go back and look and watch each tick. Whoop, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this right here. And you guys will be able to see how this works and get a feel for the strategy itself. So in this case, you'll see this red line right here is our 10 EMA. It's a 10 EMA. And what we have is we have this candle right here is a bullish candle, and it is closing below the low. And so our strategy calls for, let's clear that. Our strategy basically calls for a break below this candle with a stop up here and a TP or a take profit target price down here. So what this is waiting for is a rollover and a move lower. And of course, if it moves higher, we would not be in the trade. Of course, it has to cross our green line right here, our dotted green line, to get into the trade. And once it does cross that green line, that means we're now triggered into the trade, and a rollover and going lower will allow us, let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. There we go. And remember, there is a candle, a setting. Oh, there we go. We're in short, and we're waiting for a lower move now. And we're playing, you'll see this red dot kind of denotes what is the signal candle. And the signal candle is super important because it's like we're using this candle to make a decision. We're using this candle to calculate our order. And so in this case, that signal candle comes in, we wait for a break lower. Remember, there's 5 candles by default. If our order is not triggered in the next 5 candles, it will auto cancel. It will cancel itself automatically. And then we roll over and have our price target. So in this case, in this example, you are able to see that we got in, entered here, and exited right there. And then it did make a little pop and then rolled over, made a new low. But that's fine because we got our profits. We are going to wait and reload and wait for the next setup. Now, remember, we did have this set to 2, so it does calculate in this top left here. A trades today has been 1, and we're allowing 2. So if the next one sets up, which it looks like it might be right here, we have a bullish trade coming in. There we go. And so we closed above that level. We closed, it's a bearish candle right here, closing above we entered there and then went higher and exited already, which is pretty fast, right? So that is our 2 trades for the day. That's it. This bot is not going to trade anymore. And again, in case you are interested in this, this is one of the bots that I do give away in my 4-week mentorship group. This can be used. We're trading it right now on Tesla, but this is a very cool strategy because not only can you test and optimize and determine what works best on Tesla. Does it work better on a 6-minute chart, a 10-minute chart, a 1-hour chart? Does it work better on a 6 EMA, a 10 EMA, right? What works better? And so we're able to determine that. Now, what you will notice is that we got a few new candles coming in. And you're like, Matt, I thought you only said 2 a day. Well, what you may have noticed is we, on this day right here, we actually started a new day, right? So this auto exited over here and we're now in a new day. And so now our trades for the day is now reset to 0, right? Now, again, these trigger candles, these signal candles are coming in and we highlight them with a green dot above if it's a bullish trade waiting for a higher move, or a red dot, which kind of signals a lower or a bearish move. So in this case, what we're going to do is we have 2 open order. So we have an open order. And what you'll notice is we do have lots and lots of candles that kind of meet our basic criteria for a bearish trade. Bearish trades are typically a bullish candle below the 10 EMA, right? Our bullish trades are bearish candle above the 10 EMA, right? And in this case, we're running this on a 6-minute chart. And of course, I've run some tests. And for this little window that we're running, it works really well on a 6-minute chart. Actually, a little bit better than even a 3-minute. Now, how would you even know, possibly, if you run this stuff, if you run these trades manually, how would you even know? How would you know what works best? 5-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour? Well, we run a whole bunch of tests, and the test results will give us the optimal answer. And so then we just do that. We are operating like a data scientist where we don't have any preconceived ideas. We're going to let the data and the results and the reports and the statistics tell us what to run. And of course, in this case, those little green bubbles, we're waiting for a break higher, a break above. And if we don't get that here and a few candles, it will auto close our trade automatically and it'll wait for the next setup. So in this case, we're going to hit play. We're going to continue and see what happens. I don't think it comes back in the next couple candles. So maybe it does. We'll see what happens. Okay, so you'll see our 5 candles have now passed. It auto canceled the order. So now what we're waiting for is just another exact setup. Kind of what we're looking for is those candles that close above or below. And actually, there's one piece I accidentally left out, and that is each of these candles have to interact with the 10 EMA. They have to interact with this 10 EMA. So not only is it good enough to not have a bullish bearish candle, these also have to, I forgot to add over here, they need to interact / touch the 10 EMA, right? So a bearish candle, the high needs to interact with that 10 EMA. A bullish candle, the low needs to interact and touch that 10 EMA. And so what that tells us is, hey, there's a whole bunch of candles that meet our criteria. How do we cherry pick which one so we're not in every single trade? Well, the ones that I've studied and the ones that I have spent time on trading manually, noticing myself, you'll notice I also like to use a trading view indicator that does the same thing. It puts these green or red dots over here. It likes to put those over the candles that interact with the 10 EMA. And in this case, that's how this bot works. And this bot is not the exact identical version of the real life trading 10 EMA because, as you guys may know, ACAP does not offer any kind of pre-market data. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. So we have to adapt the strategy just a little bit. All their basic premises are there, that the strategy matches kind of what we're doing here with the bot, but there are a few little nuances here and there. So it's not the exact strategy. So you can't say, oh, well, this doesn't work well on this time frame on this chart. Well, it all works. You just have to run the optimizer to determine what is the optimal settings for this bot on Tesla, on this case, a 6-minute time frame. So we're going to go ahead and let this run some more, and we're going to see how this plays out. Let me move my picture over. And again, we're waiting for a bearish candle closing above the 10 EMA. That would be a bullish trade, or the opposite, we're looking for a break lower. And you'll notice here we got a bullish and bearish. If we can roll over and go lower, we're going to be short. Oh, didn't happen, so we auto canceled the order. Same thing here is we got a bullish candle breaking above, and then we got a bearish candle closing below, so it reset the order itself. So now we wait for our next candle. Again, on this second day here, we have 0 trades in the hopper. Oh, I spoke early. Look at that. So now you'll see we have a stop up here, entry here, almost getting stopped out. There we go, stopped out. So we have 2 wins and a loss so far. Let's let this continue. There we go. Yep, no big deal. It happens. Of course, I want us to see some more wins and some losing trades. And again, because this is adapted to the RLT strategy, the cool part is even if you're in the 90-day to trade masterclass, this tool makes a lot of those decisions for you. And we also have a Momo bot as well, which you can use to automate your Momo trades, use the 10 EMA to automate your day trades. Tons and tons of things. You can run this on a daily chart, tons of options, tons of possibilities. It's always pretty amazing to me how many possible combinations of settings you can run and optimize. You can decide what tickers to run it on, what time frames, run an optimizer, and take a look at what works best on whatever you're trying to trade. If it's Tesla, if it's oil, if it's gold, if it's indexes, metals, whatever that looks like, crypto even, you're able to place run optimization tests and come to the conclusion of what works best. All right, team. So we're going to let this last trade finish up here, and we're out. Yep. So that is an example of the 10 EMA. Even though I had 2 wins, 2 losses, I still closed with a little bit of profit. And of course, it always is great to talk to you guys. Let's edit this piece out. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and we're not going to cherry pick a few trades. We're going to go back and let the whole entire back test run. And we're going to do it on visual mode so that you guys can see more. I'm going to speed up a little bit so you guys can get a better idea of how all this works, how the trades add up, the wins, the losses. And we're going to do our best to be fully transparent here so you guys can see how all this works. Not every bot wins every time, right? So what we're going to do is speed this up, and we'll watch these trades come in here. And I have it set currently to a 3.0 profit taker, and we're just going to let this speed up, and we'll wait for the end of this test, and we will continue in just a bit. All right, we're going to speed this up just a little bit more, see if we can finish this test up, and we will review all of the trades here in just a second. Okay, and that's it. Let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. We're going to review all of the trades that our back test took. And in this case, because we have this set to a 3.0 or 3 times risk, we will be banking $3,000 when we win. We will be, I'm sorry, around a little over $3,000, give or take. And our profits will, when we lose, will be around 1,100. Well, what you'll notice is some of these aren't either a 30, like a 3,000 plus win or an $1,100 loss. It's somewhere in the middle. And we'll notice that this auto exited. We have a setting to auto exit at the end of the day. And in this case, that is at 22:45. So that's the default setting for if we haven't hit our profit taker, if we haven't hit our stop loss, we're in the trade, it's just going sideways. What do? Well, it'll auto close the trade if you have that setting turned on so that you don't accidentally turn a winning day trade into a losing swing trade. We've all done that before. It's not a great feeling when you have a winning trade and you roll it into the next day and it becomes a losing trade. Not a great feeling. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through this and you'll see we have some wins, some losses, and you'll see small amounts like this. Of course, how do we know? Well, that 22.45, 22.45, those are our default settings, which just means, hey, we got into a trade closer to the end of the day, but it didn't actually hit a profit, didn't hit our loss. It's somewhere in the middle. And sometimes that can be pretty profitable wins. So they can also be smaller wins or smaller losses as well. And here we go, $44.88. What are we gonna do with all that money? $44. I mean, that's like a trip to McDonald's these days, it seems like. Okay, so we're gonna scroll through. Here we go, all of our wins, our losses. Of course, we want our winners to always be significantly bigger than our losers, right? And here, even if we had 4 or 5 losers in a row, these big winners more than make up for it, right? So again, if you think about your risk reward, you want to risk $1 to make 3 or somewhere in the middle. That's an ideal strategy, an ideal scenario. And so as we scroll through here, look at the bottom. Again, this is our test period, and this is only covering literally 2.5 months. So in 2.5 months, $33,000 gain. And if you're like, Matt, I don't have enough money to trade a $100,000 account, that's 33% team inside of about 10 weeks. That's pretty phenomenal. Most people would take that in a year, much less 10 weeks. But if you don't have an actual real money account that you want to trade these in, you can use a real life trading funded account program. So if you open your browser, go to reallifetrading.com/funding. We do offer a funded account program. Of course, these bots work magically inside of our funded account program. So in this case, I'm demonstrating this $1,000 account. Now, how crazy is it? You use $1,000, grow that account 10% using a bot. Then you get the account funded, the money becomes real, and then you do a 75-25 split. But then even as you saw in our back test, we had $33,000 gain in an account that costs us $1,000. Now, of course, take the first $10,000 gain away, you still have $20,000+ left in a real money funded account that you're now doing a 75-25 split, and that account only costs you $1,000. Now, of course, be sure to save a few dollars to sign up for my class where I give these bots away for free. But team, that is what I have for you on the funded account program. We do offer anywhere from 50K to 200 to even 500K account. You grow all of them 10% without breaking the rules. So you can't lose more than 6%, but there's no limit on time. You can take anywhere from 1 day to as long as you need. There's no 30 to 60 day time limits like most prop firms. And we also have one stage. One stage, you grow at 10%. You're not growing 8% and then another one, another 6 or 8%. It's one stage, one account, you grow it. You prove to us you can handle money, you can manage your risk, and the money becomes real. And then we do a 75-25 split. And as of May 2023, we now literally offer a 90-10 split where you keep 90%, we keep 10%. But team, that's what I have for you. That is the updated 10 EMA bot. Really cool options, lots and lots of possibilities. And I hope to see you in class someday. Don't forget to love life, live life, and trade it. Thanks.